parezca.
Okay, so you want to know about Gongyi Xintiandi?
Yeah, tell us a bit.
Okay, Gongyi Xintiandi is a 3-year project, 3 years, yeah. And it's being a partnership with the local government and NPI, a non-profit organisation that I work for until today. And the last 3 years we've been renovating this Qing Dynasty orphanage. So we're in one of the buildings. There are about 12 buildings in total and has beautiful gardens here as well. And the government wanted to create a space for social entrepreneurs and non-profits in Shanghai to come together and learn a new way of working and collaborating, and also to open to the general public, to invite the general public to experience new Chinese social enterprises like this one, and also to find ways to collaborate across sectors as well. So it's just opened 2 months ago. And so we have about 20 organizations here working in areas of innovation for the elderly, equal opportunities for the disabled people to find meaningful work and skills training, and community development in general as well. So we have a community garden, and we have some foundations and impact investors and some corporations showcasing their projects here as well. So over the next year we'll have more and more organizations move in, have a bit more life, and we hope to be a space that puts Shanghai on the map for social innovation and social enterprise.
Yeah. Following with that, how do you think, or why it's interesting that Mondragon Team Academy is here today?
Yes, well, one of the requests from the government is we need to bring in best practices and learnings from all over Shanghai and China and even internationally. They're wanting this space to be a place for experimentation, for applying new ways of thinking to the China context. So having teams from international community and schools who are working in areas of creativity and innovation and business that can be tested here in a Chinese context is very exciting. So bringing in teams today, we hope we'll find a way of applying some of those methods to some real problems facing 2 of our NGOs. And these are issues that many of these NGOs face. Typically moving from a traditional model of charity where they rely heavily on government subsidies, or a traditional model of charity where they need donations or grants, to a new way of operating that's more like a social enterprise means a whole new skill set for these social entrepreneurs and NGO founders that they just don't have.
And maybe you could tell a bit more about what you told us before about having a lot of infrastructure here, but maybe missing the life inside of that.
Yes, there are several government-supported incubation programs for non-profit organizations, and they've invested heavily in creating the hardware, the physical space, and bringing in all the equipment they could need, and even employing organizations like NPI to manage them. So the learnings have been that just getting these organizations in a physical space and expecting magic to happen is never going to really produce great results. So finding slowly that you've got to bring in much more of the software elements to the programming to get people to collaborate has been part of the learning process. This created this space actually, while this huge space with a lot of commercial value has been given to the social sector, because there were many projects in front of the government that were much more lucrative to turn this into a commercial Chanel, Dior, restaurants, hotel, but it's given us a chance to try some of these learnings from the incubation programs. It's not just the hardware, you need to bring in the community and bring in the programming and life.
So the software that you are talking about could be community building, collaborating, like the ways to develop
how to get the organizations here to come together and collaborate and interact and learn from each other, and then bring in external community groups as well from the business sector or from the general public, just to put them into that big melting pot and see what interesting things can happen. But having an organization being I'm not sure if puppet master is the right word, but being the person facilitating that is a big key thing for this project and for the learnings from the previous incubation programs. You need someone to be orchestrating.
And which are the next steps that now this project should take to move forward?
It firstly needs to do a lot of leasing. We have a lot of space, so 16,000 square meters of floor space. We have about 30% full at the moment, so by the end of this year we need to double that at least. But at the same time we need to start bringing in some of the software, the programs and the events, so that the community starts to learn about what we're doing. Not just focusing fully on getting the occupancy up, but at the same time showing what it's going to be, painting that picture on a smaller scale as we grow. So the team here of around 10 people is split in areas of day-to-day, telling people the story, and then there's some that are marketing and trying to bring in events and reach out to the community and actually bring in some programs. Then there are some focusing on bringing in the non-profits and social entrepreneurs to fill the space.